It is time for Movies and Booze. I'm pleased to say Tomas Clancy and Esther McCarthy join us once again. Good afternoon to you both.
Hello.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Oh my gosh, that's brilliant, because we were talking to Buzz Aldrin, but through an amazing coincidence, there's a star constellation on the labels of what are the bottles of wine.
That's it. It's Celeste. I didn't know it, but there it is, sparkly way. He was there, and he crossed all the way over there to the moon.
Through the Van Allen belt where he should have died. Yes. Right, so tell us about what we're going to be drinking.
We're going to be drinking this wine here, which is Torres Celeste, which is from the Ribera del Duero, which is 900 metres high, so that's 2,700 feet high in the air. And basically it's as a result of that, even though it's right in the middle of Spain, where otherwise it's scalding hot, this is able to have a moderate climate and come out with a big punchy wine with a little finesse, and it is a spicy, succulent, happy wine for the sun that we have outside for at least another 2.5 hours.
Right, and we're actually over time, and you know why? I was just... No, that's not your fault. It was because I was drinking the wine. I was enjoying it so much I dragged it out. It's really nice, Tomas. Tell us about it.
This is the Torres Celeste, and this is from Ribera del Duero. It's running for around about €19 to about €22 around the country. It is a really top quality wine. Tintafino, or Tempranillo as we call it everywhere else in the world, but they call it Tintafino in the middle of Ribera del Duero. The Ribera is this river. The Duero River is one of the longest rivers in Europe, but it's a very quiet and unknown one because it's got bad branding. It's called two things. It's called the Duero in Spain and the Douro in Portugal, but it's in fact the same river. And it runs essentially from the Pyrenees right the way through the whole of Spain, across Portugal and out into the Atlantic. And it hugely influences and has carved down through fantastic, hefty, sort of granitic stone. And in fact, it created a beautiful valley with nice steep sides. Very tall and very high, so that here we get an opportunity to get ripe grapes that don't go off into a jammy, hedonistic, heavy alcohol vibe as they would in, say, Jumblia or other southern regions or other regions close by in Spain. But because of the height of Ribera, you get this fantastically clean and pure but rich expression of Tempranillo. So this has got all of those kind of chocolate, slight mild spice, but mouth-filling and soft and opulent.
Yeah, because often the Ribera wines can be just club you to death.
They can be hefty, but this one is nice and high and gets. It's also in a beautiful new winery. The Torres group, who were really in Catalan, they started expanding into the Ribera. Ribera is went through a kind of a Celtic tiger phase, where every single wine producer up and down the region just landed with more money than God was handed to them, and so they all then the first thing they did was they reached for their architects. So they architect up,
as you do,
and so Sir Richard Rogers built one at the far end for Faustino. That was magnificent and huge, and then everyone said, no, we want the other fella. So they go over and they get, whose name now I can't remember, Richard Rogers' alter ego, and he comes in and builds one. And so all the way up and down, you're just looking at beautiful architectural icons, and in the middle of them, they're now all clean and beautifully done. Very, they all use gravity feeds, and so they're sustainable and beautifully green as well. So this wine is not only good and delicious, but it's also green and sustainable as well.
Yes, it is. It's really, really nice.